2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 11th of November and it's Singles Day. And a big happy birthday to Ellie Simmons, Emma Blackery, Leonardo DiCaprio and Stanley Tucci. The threats of strike action kept coming on Thursday as 100,000 civil servants voted to walk out in a row over pay, pensions and jobs. More rail disruptions also on the way after train drivers in England announced they'll be taking action on the last Saturday of the month. Meanwhile, the Health Secretary says he's had constructive talks with the nursing union after its members voted to go on strike. It follows reports some nurses are resorting to food banks or eating patients' leftovers because they can't afford meals. Patricia Marquis from the Royal College of Nursing told BBC Breakfast it just can't carry on.
What they're saying to the government is enough is enough. It's years of underfunding into the NHS and years of underfunding into nursing, and the value of their salaries has just fallen behind over the last 10 years.
Speaking to Sky News, NHS provider Saffron Caudry says she has every sympathy with nurses.
The conditions that have led nurses to this action, we completely understand how strongly they feel.
Cabinet Minister Chris Heaton-Harris wants to see further talks between the government and the nursing union, but says pay increases must be set in the context of the wider national situation for the economy.
Nurses did get a 3% pay rise last year when the whole of the rest of the public sector did not get anything. There's an independent pay board behind nurses' pay in the United Kingdom. We've agreed to the recommendations.
There's a new renewed focus on Northern Ireland after Northern Ireland Secretary of State Chris Heaton-Harris extended the deadline for an agreement to be reached, which would allow the Assembly to finally find a solution to the current impasse. The new deadline of January the 19th will have been a topic of discussion as Rishi Sunak and Irish Taoiseach Micheál Martin met at the British-Irish Council Summit in Blackpool on Thursday. Rishi was the first UK Prime Minister to attend the meeting in 15 years, and he and the Irish leader spoke about the Northern Ireland Protocol, agreeing there's a window to take action. Micheál Martin sounded positive after the meeting.
We want to see meat on the bone, in terms of the mood music is improving. We now need to translate that into a resolution.
Labour's Peter Kyle, Shadow Northern Ireland Secretary, blamed the Tory government for a lack of progress.
The question is, when do they start? Diligence, graft and statecraft is needed to do this.
Ukraine's president has urged his troops to be cautious about Russian orders to withdraw from the southern city of Kherson. Volodymyr Zelensky is sceptical about the Kremlin's plans, although in a call with Rishi Sunak, he agreed it was a sign of progress. Moscow's occupied the region since March, and NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg says Russia can't be underestimated.
We have to wait and see what actually is going to happen. That Russia has absolutely lost the momentum.
Ukrainian troops are moving at speed towards the city of Kherson, with reports of dozens of villages and settlements liberated in the last few days. And Andriy Zagorodnyuk, the country's former defence minister, told Times Radio Russia still has a strong military presence in Kherson.
We've been preparing for some time, but again, we're not expecting this to be an easy operation.
Rishi Sunak has insisted a jailed British-Egyptian pro-democracy activist must be freed and reunited with his family. Alaa Abd El Fattah, who's on hunger strike, was sentenced to 5 years in prison last December after being accused of spreading false news that harms national security. After his visit to the COP27 climate summit, the Prime Minister told MPs he raised the case with the Egyptian president. But Alaa Abd El Fattah's sister Sana Asif has criticised the government for not doing more to help.
So the fact that Rishi Sunak went all the way and couldn't even produce a proof of life for the family to know that Alaa is alive, that Alaa has not deteriorated, makes us even more concerned and makes us think that the Egyptian government is not taking the concern of the UK government over Alaa's health and life seriously.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Gareth Southgate names his 26-man squad for Qatar and Florence Pugh takes her granny to work. Right after this. Welcome back.
3.
Thursday night saw the final game of the Carabao Cup third round as Man United faced Aston Villa, winning 4-2 and progressing to the fourth round. Marcus Rashford was on the score sheet and he's also made the plane to Qatar as England's World Cup squad was revealed. Leicester's James Maddison, Rashford and Newcastle striker Callum Wilson have all been included in the 26. Arsenal defender Ben White also gets a call-up, as does Man City pair Kyle Walker and Calvin Phillips, despite fitness doubts. But there's no place for defenders Dan Burn and Fikayo Tomori or Brentford striker Ivan Toney. Harry Kane will captain the side. Manager Gareth Southgate was asked if he believes that the lineup's the right one to lift the trophy.
We've obviously had to cover a couple of players that aren't yet fully fit, so having 26 available meant that we were probably able to take a couple of risks that you might not have been able to with 23. But we think the balance is there and we've got cover in the positions we need.
Florence Pugh's been doing the rounds talking about her new movie, The Wonder. On Late Night with Seth Meyers, she recalled the moment she face-planted the mud after a sheep ploughed into her during filming on top of a windy mountain in Ireland. The 26-year-old also spoke about the time she took her grandma to the Venice Film Festival, and she's certainly no wallflower.
And as I finished the carpet, I turned around and my gran was in front of all of these, shouting photographers just standing there. And I said, do you want to come with me? And she goes, oh, all right then. So I take her on and I'm looking at all these photographers be nice, be really nice. The whole wall of photographers behind me were all no, we want pictures. So my gran then starts pirouetting and curtsying, and it was amazing.
The new John Wick Chapter 4 trailer's dropped and Keanu is looking as cheery as ever. He's back playing the lethal action hero once more and is seen challenging Bill Skarsgård's villain, the Marquis de Gramont, to single combat in order to win his freedom. The movie's out next March and also stars Lawrence Fishburne and Ian McShane, so expect nunchucks, axes, guns and lots of flashy fighting skills.
I want you to find your peace, but a good death only comes after a good life. You and I left a good life behind a long time ago, my friend.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.